It's Abner again from Paris Life Finance. Hi, I'm back to give you a few more tips about the new build process. When I last spoke to you after Sam's interview, I spoke about the process of reserving a property and also trying to ask for incentives and all that. So one thing I'm here to talk about is as well as different types of developers and the house types. Sometimes on a development, you have different developers who are all building on that development. So let's say it's how many hectares or how many acres of land there. It will be split across 2 or 3 different developers. 2022 now, sorry, it's 2020. I'm so excited for the new year. It's December 2021 in Wellingborough in Northamptonshire. There is a new development called Glenvale Park. At Glenvale Park, we have Taylor Woodrow, we have Barratt Homes, and there's a new developer there. There's another developer there as well. I've forgotten the name now. But there are 3 developers on that particular development who are building houses. All the 3 developers I've mentioned, I don't know if there's another one, but all the 3 that I can recall usually have similar house types. So for instance, if you wanted a 4-bedroom house with an integral garage, or garage as people call it, with an integral garage, you would find one with Taylor Woodrow, you find one with Barratt, and you find one with the other developer. These developers would have similar prices, but so for instance, Taylor Woodrow might sell that same house for, let's say, just an example, you have to go and check the prices, let's say £390,000. Barratt's home may sell it for £375,000. The other developer may sell it higher or lower than the 2. It's up to you. Now, the thing with the houses is that I guess it has to do with the planning permission that they've obtained for the whole development. So usually it's under a scheme. The sort of scheme will dictate the materials that they should use for the external facades of the property, of the whole development. So they might say it has to be brick. They might say that it has to be rendered. Whatever it is, they would all follow the same scheme. So all the houses look similar on the development or the estate. Last year, there was a development in Banbury and it had Taylor Woodrow there. It had Barratt there, and I've forgotten the name of the last company. I'll try and recall and I'll post it down here so you know which one it is. Call it Bridal Ways by Taylor Woodrow. Barratt called it, I think it was Long something Phase 4. Whatever it is. So it was the same developers it was similar developers, similar houses by similar developers. Okay, so that's how. So I think Taylor Woodrow called it a Crofton G. It was a 3-bedroom townhouse, either end terrace, mid terrace, semi-detached. And Barratt had a similar thing as well that they were selling. I think the price difference between the 2 developers was about 15,000 or so, and it was similar floor plan, living room and kitchen on the ground floor, 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms on the first, 2 bedrooms on the first floor, and then a master suite on the top floor. Difference is where the Taylor Woodrow one had like a small door that led to the staircase going upwards, and on that let's say the landing for that one, you could easily turn it into a study if you wanted to turn it to a study. And then the top floor had no door at the top because the door was on the staircase level on the first floor. So what I mean, ground floor, first floor, and second floor. That the Taylor Woodrow one on the first floor, you had one good sized double room. It was quite a big double room, and you had a single room, and then you had the bathroom in the middle. The Barratt option, on the other hand, had 2 double rooms on the first floor instead of the smaller. So the Taylor Woodrow one, you could put a double bed in there, but it would be a bit tight. And then the Barratt one had 2 double bedrooms. Reason why I'm telling you this is this: when you go on a development, and let's say you're looking at developer A and you're looking at developer B, you may be right up your budget and you may not be able to afford developer A's thing. But if you just take a short walk to the next developer, you may be able to afford theirs. Just note that the prices are based on how they price it, the type of finishes they've used, the type of materials they use. So I'm not saying, I only gave those 2 companies as an example. I'm not saying it's like that everywhere. It's what I saw. That's what I'm sharing with you. So What I'm trying to tell you is that if you're on a development and there are different developers on there, it may be a good idea for you to just take a 5-minute stroll to the other one and just talk to them and see what they have, what options they have for their developers, and see. And sometimes even their incentives are different depending on what state. Like I said before, the stage of the house and the development will tell you what incentives they have, and they may have different incentives. So it will be a good idea to walk there. This is when you're looking at new build properties. Also, to clarify on something about incentives, be sure what you're asking for, because although I said you can ask, the thing is you have to ask and you get what you want, but be sure what you really want. So ideally, make sure you have a clear budget of how much you want to spend after you bought the property, okay? And if you believe it's cheaper for you to get it done once you bought the property, which it usually is, but convenience costs money as well. So if you get a developer to do it, it's convenient for you, just moved in, everything is done and you move in. Or if you can have a place to stay or wait for a bit, then you can get someone to come in and take the quotes later, because you are in, you can take measurements and everything, and you can get the quote in. So whilst I'm on measurement stuff, if you end up going through the new build route, which some people choose to do, just remember that I think it's very rare for them to do a change on prices, especially if it's at the beginning of the stage or if it's in progress, because they wouldn't want your reduction to reduce the prices of future houses, the same house type that comes up later. If the valuer comes to value it, and let's say it was 360, you ask for a discount to 310,000, it means that the subsequent houses of the same type that come up may not be able to achieve it, because they'll be like, why did I want to sell for 310 and then you are selling yours for that price? It's very unlikely that they would also share how much the last house was sold for. So just be careful. Examples I've seen after the houses have all been sold in development, and I go on you can go Rightmove and check last sold house prices and stuff. What I've seen is that some people buy theirs for, let's say, 290,000, someone got theirs for 285, someone got theirs for 295, and it's dependent on when the houses are released. But if you don't ask, you don't get, so you might as well ask for it, okay? Just to recap what I've said, on some development, there are multiple developers on that development. If you see a particular house type that you want, it may be wise for you to just take a walk to the next developer and find out if they do a similar thing, and find out what finish it is. Sometimes the finishes may skew you to stick to the one that's more expensive, or if you're not really bothered and you're happy to change it later, you may skew to the other one. It's your choice. It's your choice, it's your budget, and it's what you want. I hope you found this useful. The next session will be about some of the costs that are involved in buying a property and some of the considerations to make. Thanks once again for joining. I'm really enjoying this series, sharing my knowledge so far. Once again, none of this is advice. You just have to do your own research. You just have to take as much as you can from here and then build on it. But thank you for joining. All the best with your house buying journey. All the best with gaining the knowledge that you want, because like you've heard from most of what people we spoke to, Royden and Olivia didn't know that there was even a LISA scheme. Some didn't know that you could ask for incentives. So that's why we are sharing these series, so that you guys can know the lessons learned that other people have and other people are sharing, so that you don't make the same mistakes and you also actually have the more benefits of it. So thanks for joining. It's been good talking to you guys today. The camera is a bit different today. I thought it was different because the last one was too bright, but thanks for joining. See you again next week, and I hope that you're really finding this useful. Have a good day. Bye.